Hey, it's the nerdy sports fan. Now, the schedule's been out for a couple of days. We've had some time to digest what's going on, and we're doing record predictions. So, the Patriots, well, obviously they took one on the chin with Brady leaving. We have no idea what Stidham is. Personally, I think he's going to be crap. But that's not what everybody thinks. I think that's hope. That's hope blinding people. I think Belichick is solid. One of, if not the best head coach ever in the game. Even great head coaches need a quarterback. And this year he doesn't have it. All right? I don't even think Stidham is Matt Castle. I don't. I don't think Stidham is Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't think he's freaking Jacoby. No. Brissett was better than what you have in Stidham. So, with all that said, having a dynamite defense goes a long way. So, I'm going through the record prediction here in this way. There are a few games that I think are going to be a lock as a win or a loss. And I'm not going to fool myself into thinking that I can definitely say every single game is a win or every single game is a loss. I'm not going to do that, all right? There's just too many factors in the NFL. And there are teams that are very, very close. Very, very close. And one play can be the difference between a win and a loss. So I will funnel some games into a toss-up category at the end of the schedule. Just kind of split the difference on the games that I think are a toss-up and formulate a record prediction from there. So let's dig in. Week 1, Dolphins. That's a win. All right, you're starting at home. The Dolphins roster is atrocious. They have their quarterback of the future there. Let's face it, the Patriots definitely don't. And but it's Belichick's defense at home, week 1 of the season, going up against a former disciple. That's a win. All right, there's far too many factors helping the Patriots there. Then here at Seattle, that's a loss. You're on the road against a coach that's almost as good as Belichick, a quarterback that's one of the best of his generation, and a roster that top to bottom is built very evenly instead of just defense heavy like the Patriots are. So that's a loss. Raiders at home, this is a toss-up. Okay, were it at the Raiders, I'd call this a loss. But home, toss-up. Again, it's a coach that's almost as good as Belichick is. He's got his quarterback, though. He's a few years along in building this roster. It's got youth. It's got enough talent on both sides of the ball to be a relatively deep team. So, again, not just focused on one side of the ball like the Patriots are right now with their defense. And that balance does give them a bit of an edge, but you're getting them at home. So, yeah, toss up. So, at the Chiefs, that's a loss. Andy Reid has had to deal with matchups against Bill Belichick while Belichick has the best quarterback in the league for so long. And he's done well enough in those games. You know, Andy Reid's a spectacular coach. Now he's got the guy. And Belichick doesn't. You think Andy Reid's not going to want to rub this in? This isn't just going to be a loss. It's going to be an ugly one. Broncos, toss-up. You're getting them at home. That's a huge benefit. They have made big strides this offseason. Big strides. Had they not had such a good offseason, especially their draft, I would have called this a win. But the Broncos definitely did some very good things because they're competing with the Chiefs and they're modeling their team after the Chiefs. You're getting them at home, though. So, you know, it's a big benefit. I just think there's enough factors favoring the Broncos to push this into the toss-up category. Even though they have a very young quarterback, and young quarterbacks do not work well against Belichick, Belichick's offense might have a problem working against Fangio's defense, too. So you have to factor that in. All right, so then there's the bye week, an early bye. That's just crap. It's not something that the Patriots have had to deal with much in the past. The NFL schedule makers do a pretty decent job of giving later bye weeks to teams that they think are going to make the playoffs. What do you think this says? Yeah. All right, so week 6 bye, then week 7, you get the 49ers. That's a loss. Jimmy G is going to want to raise the earth against his former team. All right? He needs to show Bill Belichick, well, what Bill Belichick knew, that he shouldn't have let go of Jimmy G. You should have let Tom Brady go a year early instead of being in this situation. But the past is the past. You made those choices. They were the wrong choices to make. But, you got to move on. All right, so at the Bills, that's a loss. All right, the Bills are, at this point now, just the better team. Roster-wise, they're actually more evenly built. They're a little defense-heavy. The Patriots are a lot defense-heavy. And Josh Allen's not a rookie anymore. All right? He's been to the playoffs. He didn't do any damage in the playoffs, but he's been there. He brought his team to the playoffs last year. I expect growth out of him, considering he's been in the same offensive the same offensive system his entire career in the NFL. That's a huge benefit for his development. So I think all of those factors mean the Bills are the odds-on favorite to win the division and win it pretty easily. So yeah, at the Bills is a loss. At the Jets, bit of a toss-up. Darnold's an easy mark until he proves he isn't, for sure. And Belichick's defense is still going to give the Jets hell. But again, their offense, who the hell knows what the New England offense is? Really. And yeah, I think that's a big enough question mark to call this a bit of a push. I don't think the Jets have done a great job building their roster with Adam Gase. I don't. But, they had a better offseason this year than they did last year. And Darnold's development is the key factor here. He's likely to be better than he was in the previous 2 years. And how much better is the question, really. So, the Ravens, that's a loss. Look, Lamar Jackson and company trounced the Patriots last year when they had Brady. Mind you, it was in Baltimore, but doesn't matter. Does not matter. All right? Now a Sans Brady staff has to go up against a Baltimore team that's arguably better than last year's squad. Not arguably. Likely going to be better than last year's squad. So, yeah, good luck there. All right, at Texans. I think that's a win. All right? You're coming off a tough loss against a superior opponent, sure. Bill Belichick, always better than Bill O'Brien. All right? Bill O'Brien's trying to be Belichick. He really is. He's trying to get rid of players a year early. He's trying to control that locker room and just lean on his quarterback and say, hey, look, obviously I'm doing the right thing because we're winning playoff games. Winning playoff games is very different from winning Super Bowls. All right, Bill O'Brien is not Bill Belichick. And O'Brien has weakened his roster enough that I think this Patriots squad with this defense can go into Houston and punch him in the mouth. And Belichick is always up for lumping up on coaches that used to work for him. Always. All right, so Cardinals, that's a win. All right, Kyler Murray's not there yet. He's too young. And Cliff Kingsbury, not there yet. Not enough experience in the NFL. He might develop into a good NFL coach. He needs at least another season under his belt to deal with the kinds of schemes that Belichick's going to throw at him. All right, so now week 13, we're at Chargers. That's a win. They have QB questions. Quarterback questions, really cause problems for a team. Truly. At that point in the season, if the fans haven't already been demanding it, they're definitely going to be demanding seeing what their rookie quarterback can do. Because I don't think the Chargers are necessarily going to be in a playoff race, considering they're in the same division as the Chiefs. It's just going to be too hard of an uphill fight for Tyrod Taylor to lead that team to the playoffs. It doesn't look like they have it in the cards. So yeah, by this point in the season, the team and the fans are going to be clamoring for their rookie, and that's going to be enough to divide the locker room and make them easy pickings for the Patriots. At the Rams, that's a loss. Oh, man. So, an NFL roster on both sides of the ball versus an NFL roster on one side of the ball. You definitely have the coaching advantage, but it's not as big as you'd like it to be. The Rams, I just think, especially them playing at home, they've got the edge. And a sour taste in their mouth still from the Super Bowl, so they're definitely going to give the Patriots their best shot. So, at the Dolphins, kind of a toss-up. A word at home, like, the first game of the season, I'd say it's a win. But at Miami, now late in the season, Miami's had enough time to really get acquainted with one another. Might be starting to by now, sure. But, yeah, I just think Flores is definitely the right guy down there. They're building their roster the right way. They've made good strides this offseason. It's enough to make it so a Brady-less Patriots squad can't guarantee a win in their stadium. Bills, you're getting them at home. I get it, but you're gonna lose. I'm sure it hurts to hear as Patriots faithful, but the Bills are a better roster. Top to bottom, they are a superior team right now. You have the coaching advantage. That's the only advantage you have. Their defense is almost, if not as good as the Patriots' defense. And on the offensive side of the ball, they are light years ahead of what the Patriots are right now. They just are. Stidham is nowhere near what Josh Allen is. He's nowhere near what most NFL teams are putting out as their quarterback. I think Stidham starts the season ranked as the worst quarterback in the league. So you're not going to go up against Josh Allen's Bills and expect to win. So finishing the season with the Jets at home, toss-up. Again, we just know so little about what the Patriots offense is going to be that teams like the Dolphins and the Jets are close enough for you to not really be able to say you're definitely going to be able to throttle them. The loss of Brady looms large. It really does. Not having a quarterback, it's the first time the Patriots have had to deal with that in 20 years. And now they're going to have to see how the other half lives, because most of the league has had questions at that position in the past, and it really hurts the entire team when you don't know who your quarterback is going to be next year. So, when you look at the entirety of the schedule, the games that I think are absolutely locked in, you're 4-7. Now you include basically splitting the remaining games, leaning on the side of winning, which is not usually what I do, but I will for Belichick. Puts them at 7-9, firmly in second place in division. Still better than the Jets, still better than the Dolphins, nowhere near what the Bills are. So the Patriots definitely have an opportunity here. 7-9 puts them towards the back of the first half of the draft. You can make some moves to move up and get your QB from that position. The Bills did it from even further down. So it can be done. You have to spend a lot of draft capital to get there, but you need to identify your QB of the future and get him in this draft. I understand that's not what Belichick has had to do but it is what he's going to have to do this year if he cares about the Patriots' long-term success. He may not. He may be eyeing up retirement soon, but who knows? Let me know what you guys think. Let me know where you think the Patriots are going to be at the end of the season. Let me know where you think I'm wrong. I'll talk with you right up until the beginning of the season. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Hit up the other videos. I'm making one of these for every single team this offseason. We got the AFC East knocked out. In a couple of days, we will go into the next division, going into the NFC East, so on and so forth until we knock out every team in the league. Thanks for watching.